Hi, welcome to Mountain Jim Card Collectibles. Hope you're having a great week so far. So anyway, I want to talk today about a common statement that's used on the stock market, and that's called "Don't catch falling knives." And more often than not, for one reason, I see a lot of sports card collectors and investors, including myself, catching falling knives. All right? Guilty. It's happened to me. And the more falling knives that you catch in the world of sports cards, the more you learn. I wish learning was easier, but most people tend to learn from their mistakes, and that's the way I've learned about purchasing sports cards. And that takes me to this Google Gemini AI overview about don't catch falling knives. And they do a great job because this really does relate to sports cards. So I'll just read this Google Gemini AI overview like it says. Don't catch a falling knife is a stock market idiom advising investors not to buy a stock that is rapidly declining in price as it may continue to fall further. While attempting to buy at the absolute bottom, catching the knife can lead to significant portfolio losses. Waiting for a rebound, letting it hit the ground, is generally considered safer, though it requires patience and often foregoing the lowest price. But remember, so many of these players are falling knives, and you have to wait till they hit absolute bottom. I would say that Dylan Cruz, at least at my LCS, has hit absolute rock bottom when I can purchase pretty much anything that's Dylan Cruz for 25 cents. You know what I mean? And there have been so many other players there as well. And I'll kind of touch on those players, but we'll just keep going down on this Google Gemini AI overview. Why this advice matters. The danger. A stock plunging on bad news, poor earnings, or panic selling can continue to fall, causing further losses. Risks versus reward. While catching a falling knife can lead to high returns if timed perfectly, the risk of getting cut significant losses is high. And honestly, I just don't view sports cards the same way because of the popularity contest, that's always hanging over the heads of everybody in this realm, You can be the best athlete out there. If you're not popular, those cards just aren't going to do much. I could kind of look at Bam Adebayo. Yeah, he had a great game. I mean, he has the most or the second most points in an NBA game ever at 83 points. He beat Kobe Bryant's record, But the thing is what's going on there? Well, the fact is Bam Adebayo is not a popular player. And so where the stock market will look at a stock and go, hey, this is a high value stock because this company's making a lot of money. It just doesn't work out that way in sports cards. And to me, I see so many people losing so much money because they just don't understand that. A great rule of thumb for sports cards that I've learned. Always buy very, very, very low if possible. Because then you can make, a profit if you're trying to sell something on eBay. And even if you're just trying to collect that card, why spend so much money on a card that's just going to sit in your collection and, kind of collect dust, Alternatives. Instead of gambling on an immediate reversal, investors are often advised to wait for the prices to stabilize, show signs of recovery, or to use dollar cost averaging, investing over time to manage risk, according to the prudent plastic surgeon. Okay. And that's another, great way of looking at it. Instead of always just jumping in to a sports card, as far as a slab goes, say it's been sitting really high and that slab is going down, with the big auto in it of the player, like say Anthony Volpe. Just wait. And really, where sports cards fail is they don't really give you a good measure of popularity. They really don't. Yeah, you can see an athlete and he's hitting great numbers or he's shooting great numbers, making a lot of touchdowns. But I've seen it, if that athlete isn't popular, even if they have won numerous, say, championships, whatever, they're just not going to go anywhere. So think about that before you dump your money into something. Now, this to me is the most important part of sports card collecting. Like it says here, exceptions and context. Right off the gate, long-term value. That is really what the focus should be on sports card collecting or investing, is that long-term value, to where you just might stay away from prospects with your money, and you just might go, you know what, I'm buying a bunch of LeBron James, I'm buying a bunch of Michael Jordan, I'm buying a bunch of, maybe my guy Barry Bonds, people who have proven themselves, that are legends to the game. If you sell cards, especially as a reseller on eBay, you have to look back at the cards you're selling and try and go back to some place where you can get those cards that have sold, because I do that more often than not. And I use the sell similar listing, Okay, so I'll just go ahead and read what it says. Some investors, such as Alan Gray and supporters of value investing, might argue that maximum pessimism is the best time to buy, as suggested by Warren Buffett, John Templeton. But this requires strong conviction in the company's long-term worth despite temporary setbacks. And that statement right there might work for stock investing for the most part. If you can really get in low on a great player at some point in time. But I typically don't see that very often, Even, the Shohei Ohtani cards seem kind of expensive right out the gate. He was fairly popular. Or even Aaron Judge, But, if you're fortunate enough to, get a stock, or say a sports card in this case, at a very low price, and hey, it blows up, that truly is the best way to do it, But remember, those are long-term holds for the most part. Anthony Volpe came in hot, and he's not hot anymore. And there's so many others that we can kind of go over as well. I'm not going to go over a ton of them, but just some of the ones that have hit my radar as of late, I would stay away from these cards. I have Anthony Volpe cards I'm trying to sell as it is. Nobody wants them. They're rotten, okay? And why are they rotten? He's not very popular. Right out the gate, he's not very popular, okay? 2, he doesn't really have a very good athletic record with the New York Yankees. In fact, like it says here, Yankees are predicted to trade top prospect Anthony Volpe to NL East contender. And then right there, Yankees predicted to finally cut ties with Anthony Volpe, deal him to NL East. You see, would you want to have a lot of money in this guy right now? I would not. Even Aaron Judge at this point in time makes me nervous, and he's one of the bigger guys in the MLB right now. But for one reason, a lot of Yankees fans are kind of turning on him. And that's just because, it goes with that statement, high hopes. We all have high hopes now, don't we? But people are impatient, and their patience wears on them, So when it comes to Anthony Volpe, I'll hit the eBay. So here I am. We're going to look at some past sales on PSA Anthony Volpe cards, okay? Okay, so don't catch falling knives. Now ask yourself this. At $89, is this a falling knife? Yeah, this is a numbered card. Hey, we all like numbered cards. It's a PSA 10. I mean, people are fighting over it. 23 bids. Would I have bid on this card? No. And do you want to know why? It's because it's still a falling knife, okay? Same with this one, $75, 2 bids. That seems about right, but still, I wouldn't touch it. 152.50. And these are, people are buying these cards, They're playing the game, They're kind of looking at it like the stock market. But once again, this is not the stock market. And let's be honest here. And this is the toughest question that you have to ask, And I ask this when I buy a card that I believe that I'm going to, try and flip, okay? Is the player popular? Is he going to continue to get more popular? And more often than not, when I answer those questions, I'm like, nope, not buying. And hey, maybe you're an Anthony Volpe fan, I mean, if you're a collector, what I'm saying, I mean, if anything, maybe just wait and watch the knife continue to drop until it hits rock bottom. And where is rock bottom? Well, that's really tough to judge, I'm not sure what you would call rock bottom for these, rookie autos for the most part. These numbered rookie autos, is $43 rock bottom. And the reason why I don't believe that $43 is rock bottom and why the knife is still falling on Anthony Volpe is because, let's face it, he's in the process of getting traded. What happens when he gets traded, huh? Does he get pushed down to the AAA? See what I mean? Is the knife still continues to fall. We don't know when that knife is going to stop falling. So why hurt yourself, Dylan Cruz. People are spending lots of money chasing him down, prospecting. Now, Dylan Cruz, people are still, chasing Dylan Cruz, of course. He's kind of popular. People know his name. But let's face it, how long is that going to last, And right here, Nationals have clear development plan for Dylan Cruz. Well, he's in AAA, yeah, Maybe they'll move him back, but then again, maybe they won't. So let's face it, Dylan Cruz is another falling knife at this point in time, His slabs are dangerous to catch if you're going to purchase one, all right? Because we just don't know how far this man's going to continue to fall, okay? Is he really popular? Now, once again, I always like to say that. Do you believe his popularity is going to blow up, or do you believe he's not going to continue to be very popular? Well, in my experience, I'm guessing that Dylan Cruz's popularity is going to decrease. And right there, that tells me to stay away from his cards. Yeah, I purchased his rookie card for 25 cents. Woo. And why did I purchase it for 25 cents? Because that's what it's worth. And yeah, I mean, it's sitting in my collection right now. I haven't listed it yet. Just kind of seeing, what to do. But if I listed it on eBay, I'd probably list it for maybe, $2 or something. That's much different than a lot of these big investors, okay? Okay, so here's Dylan Cruz's cards, It's a falling knife. You can't say it's not with what's going on with him. I mean, he's been pushed down the AAA. So already I got Frank Sinatra singing High Hopes, The Amityville Horror House, putting up the sign, High Hopes. But here's where I am with the Dylan Cruz. I don't have high hopes for Dylan Cruz. I expect him to keep falling and falling and falling. Here's one, $151.38. That's a PSA 10 numbered out of 199. That's a lot of money for a falling knife. Will the buyer get hurt? Or do they even care if they're hurt? Sometimes with these collectors, they may not even care. It's just like, hey, I got the card I want. I'm moving on. Hey, and that's what I like to hear. Some of these sob stories from investors. Once again, maybe this episode is more for the investors than the collectors. But still, as a collector, I want you to get a good deal, not get screwed over. 115, only one bid on that. That's a numbered card. PSA 9. $799.99. Ouch. We'll see if that one goes through. It may not go through. That much money for a guy that's getting pushed down into the AAAs. Oh my God. I just, I almost feel like I should be sending first aid to this guy. or whoever it was that paid $799.99. I mean, the first aid kit's in the mail, bud. Get that hand bandaged. Get to the ER, man. Then we have this one, 16 bits, $122.50. Now, why do you look at these prices? We know this is a falling knife. A guy that's getting pushed into the AAA. You know, you can hear it too, Frank Sinatra singing high hopes in the background when these people are purchasing these cards. Am I purchasing these cards? Hell no. Hell no. I would use this money to save up and buy myself a decent player, a Shohei Ohtani card. There you go. I'll take a Shohei Ohtani rookie, whatever. I'll save up my money. Why is that? You know, as a collector, as an investor, it's not a falling knife. You know, it's more than likely going to continue to go up in value. Why? Because of the simple question. Is Shohei Ohtani's popularity going to continue to go up or down? And I believe it's only going to continue to go up. So right there, you know, and maybe he'll have a bad season. It doesn't matter. And that's just it. Is a lot of sports card collectors, what they see is a good record, you know, a good athletic record. It's not enough, you know. It's too dangerous. So right there, you know, that's the Dylan Cruz. You know, I mean, we have Anthony Volpe. And that takes us to Jason Dominguez. Ouch, you know. A true falling knife. His values were really big, you know, when he, you know, came out. You know, I mean, people were just thinking, you know, this guy's going to be, you know, a big, big name player. Yeah, people know his name. But is he popular? No, he's not popular. He's not popular at all. So right there, what does that tell you? And he's clearly a falling knife for the fact that, well, guess what? Right there it is. Jason Dominguez, option to AAA by Yankees. And this just came out 4 days ago, okay? AAA, all right? And, hey, there's a good chance he'll be back. Cross your fingers. We've seen this happen with other players, all right? But let's face it. Is Jason Dominguez popular? Not really. Do you think he's going to become more popular? I really don't. I think, if anything, he might have reached his apex of popularity, you know. So right there, he's a fallen knife. Very dangerous. A lot of people don't see it, you know. I see it. Just from experience, this and that. I mean, I have Jason Dominguez rookie card. Picked it up for 25 cents at the LCS. Nice card, too. Excellent condition. Yeah, it's not his auto, you know. We all know that, you know, when you go into an athlete, it's all about the auto. Okay, so here I am looking at Jason Dominguez. To me, this is a very, very sharp blade that's fallen down here. Now, this sold, you know, just yesterday, $300. Here we see one that sold for $112.50 with 25 bids. So, you know, these people are kind of scrapping over some of this. $75. $450. Yep. That's another person we have to send a, you know, first aid kit to. Send him to the ER. It's a sharp blade. Another one, $444.99. Here's one, $151.50. $199.99. I mean, I don't know why anybody would spend this much on this guy. This is just madness to me. And maybe, you know, it's all about the high hopes, you know. Oh, you got a player who's going to blow up. Do you really think Jason Dominguez is going to blow up? Let's be honest here. What reasons would cause him to blow up at this point in time? All right. What, is it going to be a long-term hold? You know, it's like buying a stock. You buy a stock today, you're going to hold it for, 3 years? I've done that, and I've lost everything on those stocks, you know. If something happens like 9/11, everything's gone. If something happens to this player, it's all gone. He's not very popular. He's getting pushed back to the AAAs. Yeah, there's still some people who believe he's a worthwhile investment. I mean, they're purchasing his slabs for, a decent amount of money. I would never, put in $300 for a Jason Dominguez slab, PSA 10 auto. I would never be doing that. Because to me, face it, he's a falling knife in the AAA. How much further do you think that knife is going to keep falling? Before you know it, it's very possible with these AAA guys, I've seen it before, they're just gone. What happened to the guy? Well, he's in AAA, and then he got bumped here, bumped there. He's playing, in the European League or something. Who knows? So anyway, how do you feel about this? I know that, Toss fanatics and the sports card manufacturers always like to hype up certain prospect rookies, but that's just the industry. And the industry doesn't care about the consumers. Yeah, they want you to buy it, they want you to chase it, but they don't give two shits if you lose everything on that player. They really don't, Does PSA care? No, they don't really care either. The only one that's really going to care is you. And if you're careful, you should be safe in this hobby. But I'm telling you, if you're someone who's always going out catching these falling knives, you're just going to continue to lose more and more money in this hobby with all of your investing and all this and that. So anyway, just play it safe. Like I said earlier, wait till it hits rock bottom. And what is rock bottom? Well, I always like to think rock bottom for a lot of these players is $20 and under, even their big slabs, I've seen plenty of former big name players, slab autos that are numbered, going for not much money at my LCS because of that fact. So anyway, hope you have a great day. I'd like to thank my subscribers. Thank you for watching. You're the reason I do this because I'm still not monetized. I'd like to thank my viewers. If you could give me a thumbs up, that'd be awesome. And if you could subscribe, that would really help me out. Anyway, I hope you have a great day. I'm out of here. Bye.